tipsy. We gon' get tipsy. We gon' get tipsy. We gon' get.
We gon' turn up. We pop bottles. Fucking bang shit. Next time, mom.